We are live. Hey, everybody, it's Tiffany. How are you all? Katie and I have just been sitting here watching names pop up on the stage. Uh-oh, there's something weird going on. Oh, I need to look over here. Darn it. Sorry. There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Home Organization Challenge number 2, Junk Drawer Judgment Day. I'm so glad that all of you are here with me. So Bobby Ann and Jamie, and of course, Barb and Sisters P4. Sisters, we need to know your real name there so we can say hi to you. And Cheryl. Welcome, everybody. So kind of a weird thing going on today. I have a new setup screen over here. And so I'm going to... If I look over, if you guys feel like I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm trying to read the screen. Katie's going to remind me when I get distracted so that I don't do that too much. So hello, everybody. Welcome. We got everybody popping on. Michelle, Susan from Gig Harbor. I used to live in Gig Harbor. You probably already know that, or not in Gig Harbor, but on the north end of Tacoma where I could see Gig Harbor. So welcome, everybody. We're so glad that you're here. So let's start off with the kind of the basic information. If you're new and you have a question, all you have to do is type the word question in all caps or put a bunch of question marks in the comments in the feed there. And Katie will watch for those questions, and she is in my ear and she will feed me the questions. And she will also pop the question up onto the screen. And that way I don't have to remember to repeat the question. So Katie's pretty smart to figure all that out so that I don't just answer things randomly and people think it's kind of weird. So if you are not a member of the Home Organization Challenge group on Facebook, it's a great play. I was so excited to read. I don't remember if I was doing it yesterday or today, everybody's progress posts on the challenge group and all the pictures that everybody put up. And it just was amazing. I mean, I just felt so good to see all of you moving forward, doing things, and really adapting to the situation, because everybody's house is different and everybody's life is different. Even though I might say this is launchpad and landing zone, everybody doesn't have that. We're going to do junk drawer today. Everybody doesn't have that either. But to just take those ideas and move forward and do what you need to do. And I saw all kinds of people just doing extra things and just saying, okay, this is a good excuse to really clean up things, really get things out of the way so I can actually have this space to get organized. One gal posted up that she was getting used to having space. And that's really kind of an important piece of this puzzle, right? Like sometimes we look at space and think it needs to be filled up, but space is what we need to work and to have dinner and to do crafts or whatever we do. If you have to clear things away to do things, even in your bathroom, if you have to clear the counter to put your makeup on, it becomes a lot more burdensome. It creates a lot of mental clutter and and all that crazy stuff. So I was super excited. Gold stars to everybody. Our winner, though, Katie had to pick a progress post winner from everybody that turned in. No, I guess I should sidetrack. If you are not a social media person and you do not want to be part of the Facebook group, you can email marketing@theorganizedoption.com with your progress post. As long as it gets in there before Monday at 5, you will be in the contest for the prize this week. So Katie, do you want to put up the winners post? Can you do that? Let's see how good Katie and I can work together. So here we go. Here's our winner. Super exciting to see all these pictures and the little details, right? So congratulations, Christine Twardecki, I think the last name. Again, I can't quite see my screen, but we are going to be sending you a $25 gift certificate to shop on the Organized Option. And we got a special coupon code for Home Organized Challenge participants this week. We'll get to that later, but you can use your code and your gift certificate that you won for your progress post. So all good stuff. Okay, so that's most of the business. Last piece of business is what I called the shopping list. And some of you may have seen my second video last week. I totally forgot to talk about that. So this little form is available as a printable. Katie will put up a link to it. And throughout the class tonight, she'll put up some other links too. There is a Home Organization Challenge main page, and there's a page for each week, and that's where all of these pieces of information will be. But this just gives you a place if you need to buy bins, totes, something like that, shelving for an area that we're working on. This is just a nice handy shopping list. You can print it and put it in your notebook, and then it's with all of the rest of your stuff in your little work basket, your tiny task bundle. So if you need to make notes about things, you've got that to do it. So just print that and add it to your notebook. And again, sorry I missed that last week. Now the week 2, a Judgment Day worksheet, or Judgment Day, junk drawer Judgment Day worksheet is available for download. Also, again, if you haven't, I sent out an email earlier. You guys asked me last week, can we get this earlier? Yes. And at any point, you can go to the Home Organization Challenge page and see if the week is up. Like, so the next one will be week 3. I put things up there as soon as I'm done with them. So you can take a peek there and see if it's up. I haven't been the best about getting them up fast, although it's only week 2. So I'll try to do better and get them up a little bit earlier. And then you can also download the week 2 page for your notebook if you're keeping a notebook with all the stuff in it. Okay, so what do we need to talk about today? Before we start talking about junk drawer, we need to talk about 2 things: identity and decision fatigue. So these 2 things play a key role in being successful in getting organized in everything, right? You can take a lot of the things that are in the book and that we talk about here and apply them to other areas of your life. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your identity. And as you're working through this process, you are becoming more organized. You are becoming an organized person. And it's so hard for people who have thought of themselves always as, I'm not the organized one. If you read the book, my sister's the organized one, or I'm the creative one. I can't be creative and organized. And in fact, you can, and being organized and creative actually will probably help you be more creative, because you can not just in like crafting, but in anything. Like if you do something for work that is creative, but your desk is always a mess, or you can't find the tools that you need to do your job, then even though you're very creative, it's hard to actually get the work done. So identifying as an organized person is really important. And it is okay to say, I am an organized person. I am getting better, or I'm becoming a better organized person, because you have already made the first steps to getting organized. You are already an organizer. You are already on that path, right? I remember when I first started taking yoga, someone in our beginner yoga class, the yoga instructor said something about everybody being yogis. And someone said, what do you mean this is my first class? I'm not a yogi. I'm just learning. And he said, by the very act of engaging in yoga, you are a yogi. And that is true for most things, right? You are doing it. You might not be a master of it yet, but you're doing it. So try, as you're working through this and these thoughts and these ideas come up in your head, where you say, yeah, I'm not an organized person. I can't do this. Just one of the biggest battle, why we're here, why the book was written, is because your head is the very first thing that you need to take control of, right? So when you hear yourself saying those things, I'm not an organized person, you can say, I am an organized person, and I'm getting better at organizing, and I'm working on it. And all of you, I cannot believe, I was blown away at the Facebook posts. And again, for those of you who aren't on Facebook or aren't on social media, I understand you might not want to be there. If all you did was sign up to be a lurker in this group so that you could read the posts, I mean, they're so inspiring. People are putting up pictures of things that are a complete mess, and then they're showing those things all tidied up, or even better, I guess one way or the other, it's not all done, but here's my mess, and here's what I've done so far. And it's all part of going public. And when you go public, you own it. Other people are going to support you and encourage you. And I saw tons of encouragement and support in that group as well. So even if you don't want to post and you just want to join and be a lurker, there's great posts and fun things to read, what people are doing, and lots of questions. If you have questions about something, somebody else probably has had the same question, and it's probably in there, and people are popping in and answering questions and sharing ideas. That's awesome. Okay. So one of the problems with identity and changing your identity and growing into this new identity is that old identities like to hang on because your brain knows them, right? And your brain, it doesn't like ambiguity. It wants to know with clarity what's going on, who you are, and what you're doing. And so it's really important that you tell yourself, tell your brain, I am an organized person. Um, and avoid, and so as those thoughts come in, you can avoid them by saying, I am an organized person. I'm getting more organized. I'm getting better at organizing. And don't let that old identity creep in. Your new identity is that you are an organized person and you're getting better at it all the time. Okay. The next thing we need to talk about before we tackle your junk drawer is decision fatigue. Because clutter is simply a pile of unmade decisions, right? I wasn't going to do the junk drawer now. It was scheduled for later in the series, but I saw so many questions and so many comments and so many, like, I need help with this, drawers and closets, that I thought, okay, we'll bump junk drawer in right into this the second segment, because you can apply all these lessons everywhere else. And the junk drawer is a great place to start because it's small and containable. Now, if you don't have a junk drawer, I promise you there's somewhere else in your house where things are collecting that they don't really belong there, right? So find that place. It could be a drawer. It could be just a drawer in your dresser. It could be an area in your closet. It could be a pile in the corner of your office. Somewhere there's random things that have all collected. And what those things represent is decisions that have not been made, right? So instead of, for those of you who take the Get Organized Challenge, I used to always say there is no M for miscellaneous. There is no miscellaneous in organization. Organization is over here. Miscellaneous is over here. They're two different ends of the spectrum. So what happens is, in a junk drawer, in a clutter pile, anywhere, is that you don't want to make that decision. Why? Because our brains get tired of making decisions, right? It's called decision fatigue. There's a couple stories in the book. One of them is my own personal story of having a very busy and hectic day at work and making decisions all day long and putting out fires, and things were just going crazy. And when I got home, right, the next decision I had to make was what's for dinner. So as the boys are like, hey, Mom, what's for dinner? And they're pretty young at this point, maybe like 6 and 7, maybe 7 and 8. And London said, can we have ice cream for dinner? And I was like, sure, of course. Yeah, let's have ice cream for dinner. That sounds like a great idea. That's decision fatigue. It was a bad decision on so many levels, but I didn't care because I was tired of making decisions. And that's what those piles of clutter are in your home. Things that you haven't been able to get rid of for one reason or another. All those decisions pile up. And when you get exhausted and done, you make bad decisions or you make no decision, right? No decision is, I'm just going to throw this in the junk drawer. I'm not sure where it goes. You're going to see some pictures. I cleaned out the junk drawer. You know what I found? I found lottery tickets that were probably like 2 years old. They might have been 3 years old now. What is it, 2026? I think they're from 2024, actually. So things that they're just like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm just going to put it here. That means your brain is tired, doesn't want to make a simple decision. It's a lottery ticket. I should have just scanned the QR code and thrown it away, right? But I couldn't even get that far along in the process. I also found in there a map of where the greens, where the pins are on the greens of our golf course. That map isn't even good anymore. Like, we got a new map last year, so that's been in there for however long. And why is it at my house? I'm not going to use it at home. It belongs with my golf stuff. So all those crazy things, when you start looking through stuff, you realize this is decision fatigue. I threw it in here because I didn't want to decide where it should go. We're going to take a look at that video also. But every pile is literally something saying, I'll deal with this later, right? So this week's tiny task, organizing your junk drawer, is all about that, the decision fatigue and recognizing it. So when you are thinking about things going forward and not wanting to put them away or not wanting to make a decision, check in with yourself. Be like, what am I doing here? Am I tired? Should I not be working on this project right now because I'm not going to make good decisions? What can I do to, set this aside? When can I come back to it? And then when your brain is fresh and when you have the energy, decision fatigue comes from all over your life, right? It could be what you're eating, how you're sleeping, how things are going at work. Are you worried about your kids? Are you worried about your neighbor? Do you have a bunch of other things you have to do? And all of those things, whether they're at the front of your brain or not, doesn't matter. They're in there and they're taking up space and they're making you exhausted. So decision fatigue, it's a real thing. If you sometimes feel like, I just can't get this done, I'm just not good at finishing things, you probably need to look at what's happening and look at that decision fatigue. I'm going to share something else with you. This is totally kind of off topic, but a couple of weeks ago, I started taking creatine. It's just a supplement. I don't know. I'm not a big believer in supplements. Not been my jam ever, right? But I had a girlfriend say, oh, blah, blah, works great for this, whatever. And if you want to have a little bit more focus in your life, start peppering in a little bit of creatine into your daily diet, right? Breakfast, lunch, dinner. It has made a huge difference for me. It's crazy. I wouldn't really normally say things like that. I'm not even going to tell you what brand I use or any of that kind of stuff, but it is amazing. And of course, I'm not giving medical advice. You should consult your doctor if you have any kind of kidney, liver issue problems or whatever. But I cannot believe how impactful it has been for me. Okay, so I'm going to, or Katie, can you start the video and I'll talk through it? And if you can take me off the stage, you don't have to, I guess. I'm going to look at a picture. So this is what the junk drawer started like. You can see those lottery tickets at the back, right? There's my garbage can right next to it. You can see in the back, I have my tote, my go back bag. And I just pulled everything out of that drawer and started sorting things. There's those lottery tickets. And started sorting things into piles and groups. That's what you saw on the counter. And then this is the organizer that was in there. And you can see it was just a mess. And then I used our basic box templates to lay out what would fit in that drawer. And you can do this by laying products on top of it to kind of test them. But there's all the boxes that match that. Don't worry, I'll show you the templates in a minute. And then I connected everything together with our Creative Connector tool. And that's what holds all these boxes in the right position in your drawer, is that Creative Connector. So things don't slide around. You don't have to stuff things in the back or whatever. And then you can see I just started loading the things that actually belonged in this drawer, right? Things that I was going to use and know that were in this drawer. A little set of tools that makes it easy in the house. Dog supplies. Of course, I have packing tape because I return so much stuff to Amazon. So that's something that's always handy. That, again, is what it looked like when I first started. And this is what it looks like now. So really simple, really easy. There's my go back bag. And I actually, Katie, you could go back to the regular screen. I brought it. I didn't put everything away, right? I'm going to go to my overhead. And this is what a bag of bad decisions looks like. That's what you're seeing in here. So what was in the junk drawer? Okay, this is one furniture slide, just one. I don't know what you'd ever do with that. Here's a little cookbook, right? This is the owner's manual for my dryer. I'm never going to use that. I could throw it away, right? Hooks. Look at these. These are things I bought that were supposed to go somewhere else, right? A little shelf thing. And I bought two of these, a man and a woman. I was going to put them on the bathroom door. I thought it was going to be so cute. But there it was, just, right? Isn't that cute? There it was, just, look, this is my pocket warmer, my hand warmer for golf in the wintertime, right? Oh, there's my man and woman. I was going to put those on the bathroom door. It was going to be so cute. I don't know. I bought these when we moved into this house 5 years ago. Another hook, more cables, right? This is just the back of one of those magnetic notepads. So all of this is just, all these things just ended up this belongs in the garage. I know where it belongs in the garage. We have a whole little area in the garage for hooks, right? A whole little bin for hooks. But at some point, I had suffering from so much decision fatigue that I just threw it in the junk drawer because I didn't want to deal with it, right? So this, look, golf balls. I don't need those. You know what this is? This is hilarious. This is a candle, right? It's a LED candle, but the outside of it is wax so that it actually looks like a candle. And then I'm not even sure it still lights up yet. But why is this in there? See how it's all weird at the bottom? I put it outside in this candelabra thing and left it there. Well, I live in Arizona. For those of you who don't know, it's 105 degrees right now in Arizona. So something that's made out of wax, it doesn't matter if it's in the shade or not, it is not going to last. So I took it out of the candelabra. This is probably, again, 3 years ago. Now here it is. There's another one. There was 3 of them, actually, that were in the candelabra. So they're just garbage. I don't even know why they're there. So that's it. This is, I'm going to call this my bag of bad decisions, right? Or decision fatigue bag. So some of that stuff is garbage, but it was too funny to throw right away. So now I'll go through it. Now that's in my little go back bag. And I'll go walk around the house and put everything away back where it belongs, which is another key about having that kit, your tiny task kit. So instead of trying again to make decisions and move things around one at a time, they're all in the bag. I'm just going to go from room to room or space to space and put things where they belong, just on a little trail through the house. So it makes it so simple when everything's in there. And then, you don't have to take care of it in the moment. If it's dinner time, it's easy to set that aside. You have everything contained, right? If you don't use a go back basket or bag, I would have all that stuff all over the kitchen counter. And if it's dinner time, now I don't have room to cook, or if it's at the breakfast bar, don't have room for people to eat. So the go back bag, basket, tote, whatever you want to use, serves a lot of more purposes than just being a place to carry around, right? It also helps keep your tiny task under control so that if you do have to step away from the task, you're not leaving a mess everywhere else, right? So we talked about those of you who were on board for the Get Organized Challenge for your craft room, the same kind of concept. We had a go back basket there as well. All right. So this week's tiny task, my friends, is your junk drawer. I want you to tackle your junk drawer or some other. Oh, okay. Let me go back here. So you saw that I had this in the video. So you have a coupon code for Basic Boxes today. Basic Boxes are hands down the best drawer organizers ever. We're coming out with a whole bunch of new sizes and shapes in them. Why are they the best? They are the best for a couple of reasons. I'll go to overhead here again and see if this. So this is the one that's in my drawer. All the things that were in this are now sitting on the kitchen counter because I wanted to show you this. So this is a custom built drawer organizer now. The creative connectors, and I have more on here than you would need. So normally you wouldn't be moving this around like I am. Like I took it out of the drawer to bring it. So I used extra clips. But because you can clip things exactly the drawer space that you have, your drawer organizer doesn't slide around. So one of the biggest problems with drawer organizers is they never fill front to back and left to right. You're stuffing things in the side, or they're sliding around, or they're sliding back and forth, and it's a pain and it's annoying. And that's one of the great things about Basic Boxes, is that you can configure them however you want. You can see I put the templates in here. So for all the sizes of Basic Boxes, now I'm using the 1.5-inch Basic Boxes for this, but they come in 3-inch and 4-inch. So if you have deeper drawers, you can watch some of the other videos that I've used them for drawer organizers. But you can print out these templates. They all say the height in the middle, 1.5 inches, and then they're 4 by 15. And you can lay them out in a pattern inside your drawer or on your shelf or whatever it is that you're cleaning up to know exactly which box is going to fit where, so that you can create the perfect drawer, shelf, tote, cart organizer for exactly what you need. So there's a coupon code. I don't know if Katie had a chance to put it up yet. It's BB Basic Box HOC 20. So on any of the sizes of Basic Boxes, you are going to save 20% this week, and that goes through Monday. So right up until the next challenge. And then the creative connector tool, which is this guy right here. That's how I put these connector clips on, is also on that sale, and so are the additional clips. And I'm going to tell you, the clips are reusable. You get 8 with the connector. You definitely want more. They come in just silver, or they come in a multicolor box if you like a little color in your life. And there's a couple of configurations. So I have mine in this little pouch right here. This is called our Perfect Pouch Cash Pouch, but I've got the tool and the clips in there, so everything's together when I need it. It's easy to keep it all together. There's some bundles on the website too, where you get all the pieces together, and all of those things are 20% off for HOC members when you use the coupon code BBHOC20. I hope I'm doing that correctly. Katie actually, yeah, okay, good. Katie says, yeah, I am. Initially I was like HOCBB or BB. Okay, so that's how you're going to create the perfect drawer organizer or shelf organizer, whatever you're working on. Maybe your husband has a toolbox that's kind of a mess, and he just needs to get screwdrivers and wrenches and pliers kind of organized in those big toolbox drawers. You're absolutely going to love this for that. And then they do come 3 inches and 4 inches. So if you have deeper drawers, there are several videos on, I mean, I even use them in my refrigerator. Okay. They're awesome in the refrigerator, but there's some videos on the Organized Option YouTube channel of me using them in other places, but take advantage this week. And then in terms of the templates, Katie put up a link. This is free, you're just going to download the templates and print them, cut them out, and then store them somewhere. I just have them all in one of our big flip-flap pockets by size. They're kind of clipped together by 1.5, 3, and 4 inches. Print multiples of each size. So when you look at this configuration that I did right here for my junk drawer, I have 2 G's, 2 L's, F, I think K, I, but you want to have, you're going to use multiples of them. So I would print at least 2 and probably 3 of each size and cut them out and find somewhere convenient to store them. Oh, I know where. In your notebook or in your tote that has all your tiny task stuff. And then whenever you think, oh, this might be a good place for a basic box, you can lay that out and know exactly, is this the right depth? Is it the right width? Can I put 2 or 3 here? How's that going to work? You are going to absolutely love them, working with them. All right. So junk drawer, Judgment Day, junk drawer, Judgment Day. What do we got for questions, Katie? Anything? Katie says yes. Yes. I mean, I have a list, but yeah, I could clean up the list and put it on the HOC page. 100%. Yes, I could do that. I need to write that down. All right. So there is a list, but it's not available for public consumption at the moment. But I will put it together, and then yeah, and like this week, this wasn't what I intended to talk about this week. I was going to talk about your hall closet this week, but there were so many things about drawers in the HOC comments that I wanted to jump in and talk about drawers. So, all right. Anything else, Katie? Yes, you can. The connector tool is on our website. If you go to collections, hit the drop down list, it'll say, they're in alphabetical order, I think. Collection tool, connector, creative connector tool. You just click on that, and the tool itself, the connector piece, the clips, and then all the bundles. There's a couple of other bundles with different storage, different other things in there. All of them qualify for your 20% off. But yeah, basic boxes and creative connector tool, both just in the drop down of collections on the website, you'll find them. Yes. We haven't. Yeah, they're due to come out in September. I know if any of you have watched the shoe video, and I got so much feedback on that, like I'm bigger than a 7.5, I need a longer size. All those sizes are coming in with our, I'm going to say September, but it's the fall. So it could be October. They might arrive here in September and actually release in October. But yeah, just the time to put your summer shoes away and get ready for fall, winter footwear, I guess. But yes, all those sizes. I will commit to the order of them here by the end of this week, and then we'll know exactly which ones. I did a bunch of sizes, but I just can't bring everything in all at one time. But they are coming, so yeah, I will get a list up as soon as I can. Hopefully, maybe even by next week, I'll have it. Maybe by next GOC or HOC. All right. Anything else, Katie? Oh, the basic box templates are on our website. Katie will put up a link. If you go to the collections, a drop-down list, and you go to all basic boxes. So it says like 1.5, 3, 4, 4 3/4, and then it says all basic boxes. If you click on that, I think all of the templates are right there. They're also on the printables and downloads tab, which is in one of the other menus. And each size, like if you clicked on 1.5 inch, then the 1.5 inch templates are on that page. But if you want to get all the templates for 1.5, 3, and 4 inches, go to the all basic boxes page from the basic box collection drop down. They're all there. Our last question, how long is the 20% off coupon good for? It is good through Monday at midnight. I should make it good through Monday at 5 because you have to have your progress posts turned in Monday by 5. But no, it's good till Monday at midnight. But that is a good reminder to get your progress posts turned in. So you can do that on our Home Organization Challenge page. On Facebook, be sure and put progress post kind of as the title. If you're, for some reason, you don't want to be part of the Facebook group, you do not have to. You can email marketing@theorganizedoption.com and put progress post week 2 in the subject line. And then Katie will add that into the contest for anybody who's put up a progress post. Remember, you don't have to actually finish. You have to make progress. So put up your progress posts and don't be afraid if you're not done. Of course, we want you to finish. That's why we're doing tiny tasks, your junk drawer or your clutter pile, whatever you're going after. I want you to work start to finish on that if you can. That's the ideal, but I know life gets in the way. So you may not actually be able to finish it, but put up your progress post anyway. What else do I need to let you know? Katie put up the links about the handout, this week's handout. I will add the lecture notes later tonight, and the video, once it's done processing on YouTube, we'll put it up on that page. So you should be able to get to our website, within 24 hours of the class if you can't make it live. And everything you need, lecture notes, video, all the stuff. I'll put the video, the little video I just did of my junk drawer also on there. Well, I don't know if I need to do that because it's in the big video, but just in case. But within 24 hours, everything should be there. So if you just get in the habit of checking the HOC drop down and the week that you're after, you should be able to find everything you need. So, all right, everybody, read your book. Do your workbook that goes with the book. Do the work. It's so mental. The whole thing is so mental. But I was really excited. I don't know. I probably already said this. I was really excited to see people who didn't have a landing zone or launchpad issue take on some other place in their home. And that was amazing. And that brings me back to progress posts. Just because you chose to do something else doesn't mean you can't post progress. Our goal is to move through 16 weeks of staying on task and doing a little bit of organizing every week. And we end up with a well-organized home and some great systems and strategies at the end of the 16 weeks. Woo! All right, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll get everything posted. I'll follow up on the notes from class tonight. And I want you to put your junk drawer through Judgment Day one day this week. Can't wait to see how it all works out for all y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.